All right, if you open up social media or you listen to fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird MK Ultra media, you would think the entire world is losing its mind. Looks like you got a lot of people on the right, including influencers, who are saying, we need to take up arms and start a civil war, like this guy right here. Hand the shooter over to us. He doesn't get a trial. Is that really the America that we want to live in? Here's another one. We will go to war for Charlie Kirk's family. We will? Is that where we want to go? Do we really want to go to war? Y'all are mouthing off to Charlie Kirk's wife. We are done talking. Is that what Charlie Kirk was all about? Was he done talking, or was he there to start a conversation? It's almost like people on the right and the people on the left who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death don't even know who the real Charlie Kirk was or what Charlie Kirk spoke about. And he spoke about a lot of right things. For example, you have the people on the left that are celebrating his death. What percentage of those people actually took the time to listen to what Charlie Kirk was all about instead of reacting on a fantasized, ginned up version of Charlie Kirk? I doubt many of them did. They either saw clips taken out of context that he's racist, that he's misogynist, that he's anti-trans, or they're just listening to their Marxist teachers spew a bunch of BS. So maybe it's a good idea to bring the temperature down in the room and just kind of examine what's going on. Now, when I brought up examples of heavy duty country, this isn't me trying to start a fight with him. I want to start a dialogue with him. Now, he mentioned me a couple videos ago in kind of a derogatory way, and I will deal with that, but I'm not here to try to push back or make enemies, but we are going to call a spade a spade. So yesterday there was this massive rally in London, according to some accounts, record-breaking rally of 1 million people or more, and it was spearheaded by Tommy Robinson, Mossad pro-IDF Tommy Robinson, and we're going to watch some of that right now. Check this out. On the right side of the screen, you see just the streets of London just filled wall to wall with people, like it's a carpet of people. And on the left, we're going to listen to what Tommy Robinson says, and then we're going to look at some words by Elon Musk. Let's just chill out. Let's gauge what they're saying. Let's realize who these people are, what they've said in the past, who they represent, and are they really good for America? Are they good for the world?
We came in our millions, okay? The biggest protest in British history. You, the British public, have now made London the battleground for this fight. We're going to do it again. I'm sorry, some people couldn't hear because there's too many of us. We need to be in Hyde Park. We need to make this the biggest concert, the Unite the Kingdom concert. What an amazing day. Thank you for every one of you who travelled there. Thank you for your behaviour. Thank you for your support, every one of you. We've made London the battleground. We didn't get to finish it. We didn't get to give our closing speeches. We didn't get to tell you our vision of how we can change this country, but we're going to. We're going to do it again. Unite the Kingdom, unite the West. It's a cry for help. We want world leaders. We want them coming from all over the globe. London has been chosen. You, the British public, have made that happen.
We want world leaders coming from all over the globe to participate in this protest, which I'm assuming is a protest against an evil government. The problem is the world leaders. The problem is that they've sold their souls to become puppets for the global elitists who literally own everything. Again, if they own the British pound, if they own the American dollar, if they own the currency of any nation, they own that nation. And marching does not diminish their power. Marching doesn't restore the value of your currency.
If you attended, did you have a good day? Do you want to do it again? Okay? We've just broke every record on the amount of people who have ever protested, on probably live viewers on X, all over the board. So I'm tired, it's been a long week, but every one of you helped us make history today. The fight's not over, it's just starting. That's the reality, yeah? We need all of you to get involved, everyone. We've all got a role to play. Don't talk about change, be the change. That's the reality, yeah? That's what we need. Thank you to Elon Musk, man. What a moment. What a moment. I've got 20 minutes out of Elon Musk's time. He gave that time to you, the British public. He spoke up for us. He's continued to fight for us for free speech, as have Donald Trump, as have J.D. Vance. So when you voted, if you're in the United States, when you voted...
Now, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, you're going to speak about them in a positive light. He says right up here, God bless Elon Musk, J.D. Palantir Vance, real Donald, red flag law, gun confiscation. I like take the guns first, due process second, owned by the Rothschilds banking cartel, pro-CARES Act, the signing of a $6.2 trillion power and wealth transfer. God bless that guy. God bless Charlie Kirk. Now, while Charlie Kirk said a lot of right things, he is credited by Laura Trump herself as having handed the presidency over to Donald Trump, as having handed Arizona over to Donald Trump. So we're going to say God bless Donald Trump. God bless Elon Musk. God bless the PayPal mafia. So he says, God bless Elon Musk, J.D. Palantir Vance, Donald Trump, and Charlie Kirk. Thank you for giving us hope. The fight back is on. Unite the Kingdom movement is here to stay. That's from Tommy Masad, pro-IDF Robinson. I'm seeing with greater frequency on the X platform, they want to create something called the Charlie Kirk Act, which is the revitalization of the Smith-Mundt Act, which basically was a law set in place to keep the U.S. government from propagandizing the American people. That was repealed back in 2012 when Obama made the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which dropped the barriers and allowed the U.S. government to propagandize its own people as much as they want. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I'm also seeing way more of this. Calls for the United States government to go after people who use their freedom of speech to mock those who mourn Charlie Kirk or to mock the death of Charlie Kirk. It says, U.S. Air Force launches investigation of Senior Master Sergeant Adam Antonioli, who slammed people that mourn Charlie Kirk's death as pathetic, displayed anti-Trump rhetoric, and hung his American flag upside down. Time for a swift firing. Let's go after him. The Undersecretary of the Air Force said, I have asked our senior military leaders to read the member his rights and place him and his entire chain of command under investigation. Zero tolerance for this. Men and women who are guilty of this kind of behavior will not serve in uniform. What I have seen is, at a minimum, a violation of Article 134 of the UCMJ. Kash Patel says, against all law enforcement recommendations, we demanded the video footage and enhanced stills of the suspect to be released to the public. And then he pats himself on the back and takes credit for the FBI's tireless investigation in apprehending the shooter. Robinson's father, who ultimately turned him into authorities, told law enforcement that he recognized his son in that released video. See, the FBI is credited with getting that damn assassin. And of course, they want to let you know, caught in 33 hours. Father identifies son as Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter after FBI chief's bold evidence strategy. Give the FBI credit, guys. See, they are relevant. We do need them. Kash Patel, the FBI, and the ATF, and Dan Bongino are pathetic, as is Pam Bondi. Still, to this day, 0 people on the Epstein client list arrested. Good job, guys. And of course, as was predicted after Charlie Kirk's wife's speech, TPUSA grew like wildfire. They say, we have 18,000 new chapter requests since Erica spoke. We had 9,000 college chapters and 1,100 high school chapters prior to this. This is the turning point. And TPUSA is being promoted by a lot of people, including Megyn Kelly, who says, this is the way. Tell your kids. Tell your kids that they too can live productive lives being cheerleaders for state-sponsored government violence. Because as long as it's violence on the right, it's okay. Remember, politics is violence. Government is violence. It's not eloquence. It's not reason. It is force. It's violence. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Maybe we should do something different. Maybe we should stop pouring gas on the fakery trying to pass itself off as legitimacy by government psychopaths who want to rob and rule us on the left and on the right. They want to wax all virtuous by telling us the Bernie Sanders of the world, the AOCs, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Donald Trumps want to tell us it's time to stop the political violence. But stopping political violence makes as much sense as trying to stop wet water or hot fire. Politics is violence. It is divisive. It's demeaning, it's demoralizing, and it divides us. And therefore, because it's so good at dividing us, we are easily conquered. And that's one of the biggest psychological operations you can possibly comprehend under the sun. They even want to go after people who say things like this. The sad fact is, if Tyler Robinson had used his gun to massacre students at Utah Valley University instead of just fatally shooting Charlie Kirk, the Republicans wouldn't care this much. The question is that true or not? Should we really be going after people who are exercising their freedom of speech online saying these things? Because that's what's happening. And of course, we've got CNN always willing to jump into the fray to mix things up and to cause the political divide gap to be even wider. The Counterfeit News Network, the Communist News Network, the Clinton News Network says lawmakers are pointing their finger at each other after the Charlie Kirk shooting.
I heard the congressman on there saying, we need to tone down the rhetoric. Well, will the rhetoric get toned down? I mean, again, I go back to what was on the bullet from this kid was fascism, and that's only coming from one side currently in this debate. And it's
as though the feds didn't write those inscriptions on those bullets, as if this doesn't have the Fed fingerprints all over it. We've got a lone gunman. He acted alone. He was on the rooftop. He had engraved bullet casings. He jumped off the roof without a gun, and yet you found the gun wrapped in a towel in the wooded area? How did the gun leave the rooftop if Tyler Robinson didn't take it down?
On every placard and every poster around the country. I mean, I think it's a valid question, but are they going to live up to what they say they're going to do with the Nazi and the fascism and the like?
I don't think we know, just to be clear, I mean, just law enforcement people, I don't think we know the meaning of his message. We know his history.
Bella Ciao is an anti-fascist thing. It says fascists catch this.
Then I'll give you his history. Then I'll give you his history, right? Think about his history.
But both sides are trying to convince you. CNN is trying to convince you. Faux News is trying to convince you. Kash Patel and the FBI are trying to convince you they've got the guy. This is definitely the guy who did it, even though pretty much everything else doesn't even add up.
His history, but this is not the.
Why are we debating that?
This is what
that's
why I wanted to tell you. This was my point, not
yours.
yours. This was my point, not yours. The point is, who cares? A man was killed, and you have yet to say political violence is bad. Period.
All violence is bad, but politics is violence. So when you say political violence is bad, you're saying violent violence is bad. Politics is a call for a ruling class to rob and rule others under coercion, under threats, under force, and yes, under violence. That's what laws are. They serve two purposes: to extract money from the American tax cattle and to make them less free, which transfers both power and wealth into the hands of the elitists who want to control you, whether they're elitists who are Democrat or elitists who are Republicans. This is all BS and nonsense.
That's all that people want from the president. That's all. And we're getting this spin up of the you and this and what. Stop counting. Well, stop looking, because you're not going to divine a perfect motive in this case. I think we're looking for it. You're not going to divine it. We generally don't.
And here's what I promised you at the beginning of the video. This is Tommy Robinson speaking to Elon Musk in London at the Unite the Kingdom protest.
We all need to thank today. This would not have happened without the next gentleman who I want to bring out here to speak to you.
Congratulations, Tommy, on putting together an amazing event and really rallying the people of Britain.
Elon, none of this could have happened without you giving the British public access to the truth and giving us free speech and fighting for our free speech. So on behalf of Great Britain and the British public, we're incredibly grateful, Elon.
You're most welcome. You may notice this T-shirt that I'm wearing is great British author George Orwell. What would Orwell think? I think that's generally a good way to look at these things. He would want freedom of speech. He would want the people to know what's real. He'd want the people to fight against government oppression and fight for the truth and fight for the future of Britain.
Why is it important for you to be here today speaking at this Unite the Kingdom event?
I want Britain to be greater than it ever has been. I want Britain to remain Britain. I think there's something beautiful about being British. What I see happening is a destruction of Britain. Initially a slow erosion, but a rapidly increasing erosion of Britain with massive uncontrolled migration, a failure by the government to protect innocent people, including children who are getting gang raped. It's unreal.
A failure by the government to protect the people. The government is not here to protect the people. They're here to protect the interests of themselves and their banking and corporate masters. This guy was part of the PayPal mafia. This guy right here is friends with Peter Palantir Thiel. This guy wants a global carbon tax set up. He's one of the biggest promoters of UBI, of brain chips. He's one of the biggest recipients of subsidies the United States has ever seen. Up to $40 billion in handouts from the US government, which is really off the backs of the US tax cattle. Tell me how this guy cares about freedom and democracy. The way you give subsidies, the way you transfer that wealth is through the violence and force and threats and coercion of the government. And now he's trying to sell you on the idea that the government's job is to care and protect the people they claim to be serving. This is all hogwash. I hope you know that.
The government has failed in its duty to protect its citizens.
The government has succeeded in its duty to fleece its citizens and control its citizens and to set up a surveillance apparatus and a police state against its citizens. They are achieving their primary objectives, and they're doing it with the vote of the people. They voted these psychopaths into office. Everybody who's in the streets right here, a large majority of them voted for psychopaths to rob and rule themselves and their neighbors.
Which is a fundamental duty of government. This has got to stop. There needs to be massive government reform in Britain. And the people need to be in charge, not some bureaucracy that doesn't care.
That's all meaningless. Government is slavery. So slavery of the people, by the people, and for the people, that's what he's going to promote right here.
Why is free speech so important to you?
Well, I believe you can't get to the truth of things without freedom of speech, without active debate. There's so many on the left that want to just crush debate and put people in prison just for talking, as you were.
Donald Trump, his pal Donald Trump, wants to put you in prison for burning your own Chinese-made American flag. And now people are wanting to dox the left for using their free speech to celebrate. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's gross. For mocking people who do mourn. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's tone deaf. It's anti-human. But they're exercising their freedom of speech. So what the right is basically saying right now is, if you exercise your freedom of speech to celebrate Charlie Kirk's death or mock those who mourn Charlie Kirk's death, we're coming after you. We're going to dox you. We're going to find out where you work and we're going to get you fired. So the party who used to be anti-dox, who used to be pro-freedom of speech, anti-censorship, are now pushing the very policies that they once condemned. That's the shift.
There's so many on the left that want to just crush debate and put people in prison just for talking, as you were, just for speaking their mind. The essence of democracy is it should be a government for the people, by the people, and In fact, this is a government against the people.
It always is. Government is always against the people. Government is never reason. It's never eloquence. It's always force. It's always violence. It's always theft. It's always robbery. It's always extortion. Always.
And not for the people. This is why everyone is gathered here today, is something's got to be done. This is unacceptable. The government needs to be responsible to the people of Britain. It needs to protect Britain. It needs to protect the weak, those who cannot protect themselves, especially the children. And when I read about some of the horrific stories and how the government did nothing and tried to hide it, they try to hide these horrific crimes.
Oh, you mean like Donald Trump's administration is doing right now? Trying to hide the horrific crimes done by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and that whole realm of evil perverts, none of which have been arrested yet? And that was just all just swept under the rug as a Democrat hoax, and now we've moved on to something different? Is that the kind of administration you're talking about? Are those the government officials that you're saying, Elon, that have done nothing and continue to do nothing?
And then you see how much violence there's on the left, with our friend Charlie Kirk getting murdered in cold blood this week, and people on the left celebrating it openly. The left is the party of murder and celebrating murder.
That's true. The left is the party of murder, and the right is the party of murder. Because politics and government is murder. If it's true that government is slavery, it's murder, it's force, it's violence, it's coercion, it's threats. If you take even one of those elements out of what government practically is, you don't have government anymore. Government is a ruling class who believe they have the divine right of kings to tell you what to do, and that you have the obligation to obey what they say. And if you don't obey, then you should be punished. And they believe you should be rightly punished if you dare disobey the government. If you don't give your 23%, your 57%, if you don't let us take 60% from you, then you're doing wrong. You're doing evil. If you don't just comply with the authorities, then you're an evil person, because government is all good, all seeing, all knowing.
I mean, let that sink in for a minute. That's who we're dealing with here. That is who we're dealing with.
Elon, to so many of the British public who are scared to exercise their free speech, they're worried about being imprisoned, they're worried about being attacked, even to share their speech on your platform of X. What message would you give to them?
The message is really, my message is to the reasonable center, the common sense. So my appeal is to British common sense, which is to look carefully around you and say, if this continues, what world will you be living in? This is a message to the reasonable center, the people who ordinarily wouldn't get involved in politics, who just want to live their lives. They don't want they're quiet. They just go about their business. My message is to them: if this continues, that violence is going to come to you. You will have no choice. You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die, and that's the truth.
He says that's the truth. You either fight back or you die. The implication there is those of you who haven't gotten involved in politics, you got to fight back, i.e. you have to get involved in politics. You have to get out there and you have to ask for better rulers, more kind masters, more compassionate psychopathic thieves. And then you get stuck on the hamster wheel doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Hey, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't bother to subscribe. Don't bother to like and share this video. And hopefully you'll tune in next time.